In this video, we are going to learn about compound and complex sentences in detail. In the previous video, we learned about simple sentences. So let's revise whatever we learned in the previous video. What is a simple sentence? A simple sentence consists of only one clause with a subject and predicate. So a simple sentence consists of only one independent clause or main clause. We learned the difference between a clause and a phrase. Clause is a group of words with a subject and verb unit, whereas a phrase is a group of words without a subject and verb unit. So in a simple sentence, you'll find a finite verb. You'll find only one finite verb in a simple sentence. What is a finite verb? Finite verb shows tense, person, or number. And we learnt about non-finite verb. Non-finite verb does not show tense, person, or number. And then I gave you a homework. I hope you have completed the homework. Now let's have a look at the answers. Pick out the simple sentences from the following and underline the finite verbs. So I've asked you to pick out the simple sentences and underline the finite verbs. See the first question. I waited for a long time. We all know that simple sentence is an independent clause. You'll have only one independent clause or only one main clause in a simple sentence. And a simple sentence consists of only one finite verb. See, in this sentence, I is the subject and waited is the verb. The verb waited shows as the tense. The sentence is in past tense, right? So this is a simple sentence. See the next example. John was reading for 2 hours. Again, this is a main clause. We have a finite verb was here. So this is a simple sentence. See the next sentence. As she was suffering from fever, comma, she didn't attend the school. As she was suffering from fever is a clause. She didn't attend the school is another clause. What is a clause? Clause is a group of words with subject and verb unit, isn't it? So see the first clause, we have she and was. She is the subject and was is the finite verb. See the next clause, she is the subject, didn't is the finite verb. So in this sentence we have two finite verbs. So it cannot be a simple sentence because in a simple sentence we have how many finite verbs? Only one finite verb. Do you understand? And see the sentence. The first clause is the subordinate clause. Why? Because it has to depend on the main clause, she didn't attend the school, to give a complete meaning. Do you understand, students? So in this sentence, as is the subordinating conjunction. We learn about it next. See the fourth example. I don't like pizza. Here don't is the finite verb. So this is a main clause. Only one finite verb we have in this sentence. See the next example. He was old so he couldn't walk. How many verbs are present here? Was is a verb, couldn't is a verb. Two verbs. Are they finite verbs? Yes, they are finite verbs. He was old, so he couldn't walk. So he was old becomes a main clause. He couldn't walk becomes a main clause. And these two main clauses are combined with the coordinating conjunction so. So this is a compound sentence. Is it clear, students? Two main clauses combined with the coordinating conjunction is called as a compound sentence. But for now, have you understood the structure of a simple sentence? Yes, I believe you have understood. So we shall move on to the next topic, that is compound sentences. What is a compound sentence? A compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses joined with a coordinating conjunction. So you know the meaning of independent clause, right? An independent clause is also called as a main clause. In a main clause, we'll be having only one finite verb and you may have many non-finite verbs, okay? But only one finite verb should be present in the main clause. So what is a compound sentence? A compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses joined with a coordinating conjunction. So some of the basic coordinating conjunctions are given: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And the acronym is fanboys. You have to learn this, right? Fanboys. See the example. The sun rose and everything looked normal. So this sentence consists of two parts. The sun rose, everything looked normal. Rose and looked are the finite verbs present in this sentence, right? See, these two sentences are connected with the conjunction and. So it is a compound sentence. Is it clear, students? Two main clauses are connected with a conjunction and, so it is called as a compound sentence. See, each part of this sentence, or not sentence, clause, okay, each part has a subject and predicate of its own. Both the parts of the sentence make one sentence. Therefore, each part is an important clause and can make sense by itself. That is the most important thing. It can make sense by itself. It can stand alone as a complete section. What is the meaning of that? The sun rose. Do we have a complete meaning in that clause, the sun rose? Yes, it can be taken as a separate independent sentence. So that's why it is called as an independent clause. Is it clear, students? The sun rose is giving, or this sentence has a complete meaning. Everything looked normal also has a complete meaning, right? So in other words, each clause is independent of the other or is of the same rank. So the sun rose and everything looked normal have independent meaning. They can stand alone and give a definite meaning of its own, and so they have the same rank. Therefore, such classes are called independent or coordinate clauses. So a compound sentence is made up of how many coordinate clauses? Two or more. Is it clear, students? And they should be combined or joined with a coordinating conjunction. See the next example. He is rich, he is unhappy. So here I have given two separate sentences, two simple sentences. Now if you want to make it into a compound sentence, what should you do? You have to just add a coordinating conjunction, right? So you have to use the coordinating conjunction after the first main clause so that the two main clauses would be connected. But while doing so, you are not supposed to change the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so he is rich, he is unhappy. So what is the answer? He is rich, but he is unhappy. Is it clear, students? Let's learn about it in detail. See, there are four kinds of coordinating conjunctions. I have given you the basic coordinating conjunctions, that is fanboys. You have to learn that as well as this also, okay? And the coordinating conjunctions are divided into four kinds. They are cumulative conjunctions. Cumulative conjunctions incorporate all data. Adversative conjunctions express difference. Alternative conjunctions suggest a choice between two sentences. Elative conjunctions are called as concluding conjunctions. Okay, you have to learn this. Let me repeat. Cumulative conjunctions incorporate all data. Adversative conjunctions express difference. Alternative conjunctions suggest a choice between two sentences. Elative conjunctions are concluding conjunctions. See, some of the cumulative conjunctions are given here. And, both and, not only but also, not less than, as well as, etc. See the example. He is not only a fool, comma, but also a coward. So he is not only a fool, but also a coward. So what is the meaning of this sentence? He is not only a fool, but he is also a coward is the meaning, right? See the next point, adversative conjunctions. But, still, yet, nevertheless, however, etc. He is poor, still he is happy. Okay, you know the meaning of adversative conjunctions, right? Adversative conjunctions express difference. So he is poor, still he is happy. Alternative conjunctions, or, either or, neither nor, etc. I have given only some of the conjunctions here, students. Okay, see the example. He must apologize or he will be punished. The last one is elative conjunctions. Therefore, so far, etc. See, elative conjunctions are concluding conjunctions. You all know that, right? See the example. He was found guilty, therefore he was punished. Okay, he was found guilty, therefore he was punished. So he was found guilty is an independent clause, he was punished is an independent clause too, and these two clauses are connected with the coordinating conjunction therefore. And students, see, therefore, so, and for. Okay, right. So what is a compound sentence? A compound sentence consists of two or more coordinate clauses, right? Or in other words, we can say that a compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses. And these clauses, independent clauses or main clauses, are connected with a coordinating conjunction, right? So you have to learn all these things. The next one is complex sentence. A complex sentence consists of one main clause and one or more subordinate clause, right? What is a subordinate clause? A subordinate clause is also called as a dependent clause. Why is it called so? Because it is dependent for their full meaning on the main clause, right? So what is a complex sentence? A complex sentence consists of one main clause and one or more subordinate clause. What is a simple sentence? A simple sentence consists of only one main clause. A compound sentence consists of two or more main clauses connected with a coordinating conjunction. A complex sentence consists of one main clause and one or more subordinate clause, right? See, a subordinate clause always begins with a subordinating conjunction. You should not forget this, okay? A subordinate clause always begins with a subordinating conjunction. Some of the subordinating conjunctions are given: after, although, even though, even if, in order that, as, if, because, before, once, provided that, rather than, since, so that. See, so is a coordinating conjunction, but so that is a subordinating conjunction. Okay, you should not be confused. Than, that, though, unless, until, when, whenever, where, whereas, wherever, whether, while, as soon as far as, which, etc. Okay, so these are all some of the subordinating conjunctions. So in a complex sentence, you will be having one main clause, only one main clause and one or more subordinating clauses, right? See the example. We went home when the sun set. So this sentence consists of two parts, two clauses. One is a main clause and the other is a subordinate clause. We know the meaning of main clause. Main clause is an independent clause, right? So we went home is an independent clause because it has a definite meaning. It can stand alone and give a complete meaning of its own. Whereas the next clause, that is when the sun sets, though it is a clause, it doesn't give a complete meaning of its own because of the subordinating conjunction when present in this present here. Okay, so when the sunset becomes a subordinating clause, so it has to depend on the main clause we went home. Okay, see each part of this sentence, clause, not sentence. Okay, each part of its clause has a subject and predicate of its own and is part of a large sentence. Each part of the sentence is a clause. We know that, right? So, however, we know that we went home makes sense by itself and can stand alone. And so, such a clause is called as the main clause, right? And main clause is also called as independent clause and principal clause. Okay. So the clause when the sun sets cannot make sense by itself and cannot therefore stand alone, right? When the sun sets cannot make sense by itself, so it is a subordinate clause. It depends for its full meaning on the main clause, which is the main clause here. We went home is the main clause here. So the subordinate clause when the sun set has to depend on the main clause we went home. So such a clause, that is when the sun set, is called as a dependent or subordinate clause. So do you understand, students, why we went home is called as a main clause or an independent clause, and why the sunset is called as a dependent clause or a subordinate clause, right? Okay. See, let us see two more examples. We will be late unless we hurry up. Do not talk while you are eating. So here we will be late and do not talk or the main clauses unless we hurry up, and while you are eating or the subordinate clauses, right? Now, I'm giving a homework for you. See, find out the simple, complex and compound sentences from the following. So you have to just look at these sentences and find out whether it's a simple sentence, complex or a compound sentence. And one more thing I would like to tell, in a simple sentence you can have a phrase. Okay, it can be a prepositional phrase or any kind of phrase you have in a simple sentence, but what is the rule? You should have only one finite verb, right? Keep that in mind. Let me read out the questions for you. Having finished his work, he went home. He changed his clothes and went for a walk. You must work hard or you will not succeed. Though he was honest, he was misunderstood. I will phone you when I arrive in Chennai. He must leave early to catch the flight. So please find out the simple, compound, and complex sentences from the following questions. And students, this is a very important topic. You can expect many questions from this topic. That's why I'm teaching everything very slowly, right? So please go through the previous video and today's video again and again for your better understanding, and do your homework sincerely. Thank you, students.